Hi, good morning to Mr. Ronnie and our fellow friends. We are Y2J. I'm Jeffrey.
I'm Jen.
So today the title of our topic that we are going to present is Fraudulence of Lawyer.net.
Our presentation includes the types of fraudulent, research on incidents of fraudulent occur at Lawyer.net, its prevention, and the punishment for fraudsters.
Okay, so without any further ado, let us begin our presentation now. Thank you.
Hi everyone, again I'm Jen. Today I'm the first presenter for this presentation. Now I'm going to present the security issues. Nowadays, security concerns are eroding the confidence of those internet users. Therefore, security issues always be the major concern for them while they are using online community or online auction sites. As you can see, there are a few types of security issues, which are fraud, spyware, hackers and phishing, or also known as email fraud. Although there are a few types of security issues which needs to be concerned about, we are more focusing on online auction fraud. This fraud appears as the result of misrepresentation of advertising a product through an internet auction site for sale where the seller does not actually own the products which are advertised on the auction site. Eventually, it ends up the purchaser or successful bidders pays for the product but they are never received from the seller. Therefore, the anonymity is an important element which needs to be concerned about. Users need to find ways to prevent or reduce the chances from being the victims of online auction fraud, such as understand the way how the online auction process works before doing the act of posting a product for sale or bidding. Now we move on to the types of online auction fraud. As you can see, it divided into seller as fraudster and buyer as fraudster. Let us look at the seller as fraudster first, which consists of fee stacking, misrepresentation, triangulation or fencing, shield bidding or shielding, reproductions or counterfeit. Fee stacking. This happens to be the situation where the seller adds hidden charges such as separate charge for postage, shipping container as well as handling rather than a flat rate for handling and postage to the products in order to obtain more money once the auction is ended. Secondly, misrepresentation. This type of fraud can be said as the oldest tricks in business world, where it is typically the intentional overstatement of the genuineness, value, quality and condition of the items. This occurs where the seller in an attempt to mislead the buyer as to the true value of a product, but in fact, it is not the exact price of it. In addition, seller also might mislead the buyer by using some similar words, but given different meaning. For instance, brand new mobile phone wholesale and list of brand new mobile phone wholesalers are totally different meaning. Thirdly, triangulation or fencing. This refers to the seller puts up a product which is a stolen item. Usually it involves three parties, which includes a consumer, an online merchant, and a scam operator. Let's move on to the next one, shield bidding. Shield bidding, also known as shielding. It accomplished by the sellers through making bids on their own items, purposely to drive up the price of their items. Besides that, this also can be done by someone who associated with the seller to make fake bidding. Reproductions or counterfeit. This refers to the seller puts up counterfeit items as the real things for bidding. After looking at the situation where the seller as fraudster, now we move on to the situation where the buyer as fraudster, which consists of shield bidding as well as buy and switch. Shield bidding. This happens where the buyer uses another email address or phony account to drive up the price and scale up potential bidders and then retracts the higher bids in order to allow the buyer to win the item at a much lower price than he or she would have. Buy and switch. Buy and switch happens where the buyer has an item of moderate value which is broken or unusable. He then searches for the same item which is in good condition in online community like eBay.com or lawyer.net, bids and purchases it. When the item received, he switches it with the initial broken item which he owned and complained with the seller that the item sold to him was either broken or defective, and threatening to leave some negative feedback to the seller. After looking at the types of online auction fraud, now we shall moving forward to the other or potential online frauds. There are two types of potential online frauds. Firstly, bid snipping or auction snipping. This is referring to a last-minute bids in a time before an auction ended with the hope of outbidding other sellers which did not expect such a move as the auction ended almost right away after the bid is placed. This can be done manually or with an automated system. Secondly is bid siphoning. This kind of fraud usually happens in a situation where an outsider or siphonner is having a practice of contacting bidders and offering to sell them a same or an identical items which they are currently bidding on.
It is a new take on an old scam that thousands of people have fallen victim to. You may have heard about the Nigerian fake check scams, but this time around the con artists don't want your money. They want what you're selling.
This one affects people who use Craigslist and eBay. If you're among those, you could be getting ripped off. Consumer investigator Jennifer Liew has the real deal now on this scam, how it works, and how you can protect yourself while selling online.
Cindy was trying to get rid of an iPhone clone on Craigslist.
That's my posting. Where is the...
When she got what seemed like an enticing offer.
There's a guy whose son is a missionary, and he's in Nigeria, and he wanted to pay me extra $50 than what I wanted for hassle and the shipping for it if I would ship it to Nigeria for him.
And he put his money where his mouth was, or so she thought.
I've done a lot of PayPal receipts, and it's identical to a PayPal receipt. And the address it comes from is even a PayPal address, so it looks absolutely authentic when you open your email.
So Cindy packed up the phone, went to the Fulton post office, and sent it certified mail.
A day later, the package made it here to the North Syracuse post office, which is the hub for this entire area. When a postal inspector saw it, they actually called Cindy to make sure that this was a legit transaction because they told her there's been a lot of scams going on with items being shipped to Nigeria.
I went online and checked my PayPal account, and there was never the money in the PayPal account. It was a fake transaction ID number.
Lucky for Cindy, she was able to get the phone back. She's out the $22 it cost her in shipping, but it's nowhere near what she'd have lost if it weren't for an attentive postal worker. That's The Real Deal. I'm Jennifer Liew.
Now, the post office tells us a number of people almost fell for this scam in the Watertown area, but when they came into the mail the laptops they thought they'd sold online, well, the desk clerks warned them to take a second look at that transaction.
But the post office just wants to remind everyone that it is not their policy to counsel customers at the window. You really need to make sure that you're doing your homework when it comes to buying or selling online. Go to 9WSWire.com, scroll down to the Black Consumer Protection Unit box, click on The Real Deal, then look under Hot Topics for more information.